And he is back. He was here a while back, I think 2 weeks ago, and Benjamin is kulikuwa na feedback fire.
Yes, I saw that.
From the last conversation that we had. So it's really, I'm really glad to have you back on the show.
I appreciate.
We're talking about conflict resolution.
Yes.
You are married. So of course, there's that dream that is painted from movies, from soap operas, from reality TV, from even the two little ladybird books that we
Cinderella.
read. Cinderella. Happily ever after is what we all seek when we're talking about relationships and marriage. But there are things that happen in between.
Yeah.
And those things are called conflicts. How do we resolve this conflicts in relationship and do that soberly?
Yeah. Wow. Conflict resolution. These are very, I think it's a very pertinent thing. It's something that most of us need to learn about. It's a life skill, basically, because in any relationship, not only, dating or romantic relationship, any other relationship out here with our bosses, with our clients, will still have conflict.
Yeah.
So it's upon us to know how we need to handle these periods where we have conflict of interest or conflict of perspective, and conflict is not a bad thing. It means that you're relating at a genuine level. So the first thing towards conflict resolution is to understand that it means that none of you is undercutting the other. You're not going behind a veil. You're genuine. You're genuine enough to be real to the other person, and they are also real to you. So when you're real to each other, there will be conflict. Okay. That's the first place. And we have to understand that it's part of human nature because we are all different. Matter of fact, the first ever conflict that started in the garden when man fell. You see, the blame game, it was the serpent who did what. It's the woman that you gave me.
Yeah, that happened.
You see? So
if it wasn't the woman.
Yeah, so it comes from there. And the most important thing when we are talking about conflict resolution is the ability to communicate. Because you won't resolve anything if communication is undermined. If you kill communication, you kill the opportunity to ever resolve anything that has gone bad. So the first thing is to communicate with your body language.
Okay, what does that mean? Because
it means
it's like just get angry and just, just walk around moody and sulky.
and start pointing and shouting. So body language is very important because, these are uncued verbal communications. It's outside words. It's outside what you're saying. So I normally advise people when you're in a conflict situation, try to sit down.
Okay.
Yeah, especially if the other person is seated. If the other person is seated, try to sit down so that all of you, nobody looks like they're domineering the other person. And then have some reasonable distance between the two of you. A distance that is good enough for you to be able to express yourself, and they can also hear you and give you feedback. Because if you're close enough, there are people who tend to, throw their limbs around.
They can get violent.
Can get violent. But if you're seated and you have distance, it gives you an ability to, try to take in the moment, try to, see what is really going on. And then the other thing is address the issue at hand. Especially for couples. Because a lot of people, especially the ladies, because for the ladies' brain, everything is interconnected. What happened at work will affect what happens at traffic, which will affect what happens at the butchery towards home.
That is so true.
Alafu, when they get home, all
and then
that.
you mess me kidogo, now it's a mlipuko.
So it's everything.
And it's not you.
Yes.
It was just my day was just not
the whole day or the whole week. So even things from 10 years ago can be brought into the picture. But you see, you have to be objective enough to tell your spouse that this is the issue. The issue is that you didn't communicate the way you were supposed to as per our agreement. This is why I'm angry.
Yeah.
Pinpoint that issue. Once you pinpoint that issue, then the two of you can be able to look at it from a level head. You'll have a proper perspective then. Make it clear to them. Don't generalize everything.
Okay.
Make it clear to them that this is why I feel angry. don't put the blame on the other person.
Okay.
You know, because at times we like to say, oh, Mikali, it was you who did this.
It was you. Kama
It was you.
haungefanya.
Hey,
We
if
do
you-
that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even men do that.
Yeah.
So it's very important for you to say that I feel, because you did that, I feel that it affected me in this way. This is how I feel about the situation. And I feel you would have done this maybe to avert whatever has come up. So it is communicating how you feel, not putting the blame on the other person. Again, going back to the Garden of Eden, we see the blame was being passed to the other person.
Yeah.
You see, and once you are able to say what you feel, the next thing would be to give the other person an opportunity to speak.
as well.
Yeah, let them speak.
Most of these moments are very heated.
They are very
Benjamin.
heated.
They're very heated to a point where sometimes I'm not even hearing you.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for my turn
To respond.
to respond to whatever I didn't hear.
Yeah.
Because I already have a script in my head. So I am going by my script. Sasa hata sikusikizi na kupatia opportunity kwa sababu tu unakani kama kuna kitu ya kusema. So without listening, then I'm responding to something that I didn't hear. Maybe you even apologized in there. Maybe I'm focusing on the wrong thing. So it's important to just
You
give
just
turns to
listen and use affirmative words. Because conflict doesn't mean the relationship is over. You see, because you're conflicting doesn't mean that you are not good together. It actually means you're good together. That's why you're conflicting. So the end of the resolution is to be that you guys are much closer than you started.
Okay.
You know, so after the resolution, it means that we are seeing more eye to eye, like we gel more, we become more intimate. That's the reason for responsibility. That's the purpose for resolution. You know, so you tell the other person, you know, I still respect you and I love to hear what you have to say. I still love you, or I honor this. I honor this relationship that we have. I honor this business partnership that we have. But I would like to hear what you say, what you would say as to why you did this.
Okay.
Then give them an opportunity to respond to you. So they will respond and you will listen. You need to listen. And how you listen is that you look them in the eye. You don't walk out the room.
It's like, yeah,
you
keep
don't
talking.
you don't throw a tantrum and then you're before they can explain themselves,
Okay.
you're out of the room. So you are there, you are engaging, you're listening, and if there's anything that is not clear, you have to repeat it back to them.
Okay.
Say, oh, what I hear you say is
Why?
that
Hey, the amount of PR and calmness.
yes.
Okay, what I hear you say
is
this and this
yeah.
and that.
So I am understanding this came up because you didn't do this, and you are not able to. Is
Okay.
that right? And then they will confirm to you. So it gives them an opportunity to really explain themselves and gives you an opportunity to really listen to them. So in that moment of, you know, that back and forth that is calm, that is guided, you are also toning down and you're able also to understand the other person's perspective much better.
Okay.
You, at the end of the day, you end up, if you're objective towards this resolution, it means then that you'll understand this person better than you first started. Okay? So it's work. It's
It
work.
is
Nkwali.
work.
It's work. Your relationships are work. We
But I
don't just
think
look up
it's difficult when you're starting, when it's just new, it's the first fight. That's when it's most difficult. When you learn how to fight well,
Yes.
and that means not fighting well like fighting all the time, but just fighting with diligence, fighting with honor and respect, then it becomes easier. Then it sort of like gets into your system. There are words I cannot use when I'm addressing the person that I love.
Or you honor or
Yes.
respect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there is that there's that continuity. There are battles we used to have, you know, with wifey that today we don't.
Yeah.
We no longer argue concerning those. Those are out of the way. We know.
Okay.
I know her better. She knows me better. I know how she communicates as well. So
Yeah.
put all those things in perspective, because at times you find somebody will say this but they mean this, and it's just them. That's how they've been brought up. There are people who are more particular with words. They are very objective with words. Words mean a lot to them. So they know they are keen on the placement of words. So you'll understand this person as you grow together. The other thing that is very important is never to look back in things past. You know, there are people who bring things from 10 years ago.
Okay.
Oh, you remember you did this? And the way they say it is that you always do that. It could be an isolated case.
Yes, but you're always
Yeah, you are always in a
Late.
hurry. You are always late.
You're always on your
Yeah,
phone.
Yeah, you're always on your phone. But you see, that tells the other person that, oh, okay, this is who I am. I cannot change this.
Oh.
So you never generalize.
Okay.
You should say, I feel like you should spend more time with me and away from your gadget, if that's the source of conflict. So you address the source of conflicts. Don't generalize. Don't say, oh, or pull things from 10 years back. So it means also that you should not shelve things. You should never put things under the rug. Whenever there is conflict, make sure that you address that conflict.
What if you cannot address the conflict immediately, like you're angry? Is it okay to take time off?
Yes.
Because there are people who can't talk.
Yes, it's very good to have timeouts, but you need to communicate that it's a timeout.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because sometimes we are so angry, we just storm out of the house or out of that room and bang doors, and that's it. But it's because we are angry. We might be more agreeable to talk about it later. So it's okay to say, oh, I'm so angry, I can't talk about this right now, or I can't even believe you did this, so can we talk about this later?
Yes.
You see? And it's also good to change place, like to change your surrounding. Yeah, if it could really go bad, go outside.
Okay.
Go outside, go for a walk. There are so many things my wife and I have resolved outside our living room, outside our house. We've actually taken a walk, or we've shelved it and then said, oh, why don't we go out to dinner?
Yeah.
And when we're out there, then we can talk. So there was this issue that came up.
So even changing the environment helps to even
It helps.
calm you down.
Yeah, it will calm you down. It will give you time to process. And that's the most important thing. It means that you're looking, the problem is not really the person.
Yeah.
The problem is what they did. You have to
Yes.
separate
The two.
the
That's
action.
the thing that we
from
do
the-
not do.
Yeah, we don't do that. We have to separate the action from the individual, because if you don't do that, then it means that is how they are, and there is no opportunity for them to change. So
Okay.
when you give it time to process, you are isolating the problem, and both of you are not attacking each other. You're looking at the problem, the elephant in the room. This is what we need to deal with. We are not dealing with each other. We are not angry against each other. There is this conflict here that we need to resolve.
We are one team.
Yes.
It's us against the
Again, you
theme.
fight as a
but
team.
most of the time we just look at, you did this, it's me against you and your habits, because that is who you are. And in that space where I have claimed that this is the things that you are, then you'll just be like, okay, so she said I always do this. I mean, they can't do any better, so I'll just be
This
like
is me.
this.
Yeah.
Which is that's not supposed to be
That
there.
is not supposed to
I
be
hope
true.
you guys are taking notes, Manze, because I think I've been fighting wrong all my life. But there's hope.
Yes.
For me and for you. If you have any questions whatsoever, please send them in. 111 444 111. That is our SMS line. And Switch TV KE on Instagram, Switch TV Kenya on Facebook. And of course, we're coming back with Benjamin. He'll be answering all your questions as well. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Full Circle with Mikali. We are talking about you and that relationship you're in, or that marriage that you're in, and how to deal with a conflict therein, because there'll always be an argument. There'll always be a difference in opinion, but how you handle that is where the magic lies. And we've been talking about a couple of ways to handle with Benjamin, but kuna ingine yenye sasa mi nimesema, by the way, mi niko hapa learning. Kuna ingine, those ones like you mentioned body language, and you like, I'm bubbly.
Yes,
usually I'm
yes,
very loud,
yes.
And then you notice I'm just not there. I'm just there day one. I'm just there gloomy. I'm not sharing. I'm not even cooking as well as I do. And I'm hoping that you're not even asking me what's wrong with me. Kwani wewe hauoni there's something wrong?
But you see, you're not okay. You might even be married to a prophet, but it doesn't necessarily mean they are seeing.
Kwanza, it's even worse, Benjamin, when they ask you, kwani nini mbaya?
Yeah, what's wrong?
What's wrong?
with
Nico,
you?
like, you do not know. Can't you see? don't you know what you did? And then you're not even telling them what.
Yeah.
So like, what did I do? And then you get angry again. So now you're not even telling them what it is they did exactly.
Yeah. You're just acting up.
But they're supposed to see. Can't they see?
They're supposed to see. But I think, that's what we assume. That's what we assume happens. This is my guy. He knows me.
And he does.
Alafu wale wako kwa church, he's a man of God. He should tell in the spirit.
Vision.
He should be sharp, And understandably so.
Yes.
Especially for the female side, you want him to notice, you want him to be sensitive. But I think that is one thing that kills communication in relationships.
Okay.
People assume too much. And at times, he might see you're down, but they might interpret it differently than you want. Yeah, they are noticing there's something wrong, but they're interpreting it differently. So when it's about conflict, if it's about something they have done, you'd rather approach them.
Okay.
Look for a time, when it's favorable and convenient for the both of you. Probably the kids are away, or you've just refreshed, umekula, you're good, and then talk to them.
Okay.
You know what, the other day you did this, and I am not happy. So be very objective in communicating. And then I think that we should always, why people sulk and just, kick it back, it's when we want to be petty. It's not a matter of principle.
I don't like you very much this morning, but I'm going to take it.
We're still going to be friends. Huh?
So instead of dealing with the issue, but it's true, what you're saying, it shows some sort of immaturity as well. This is the person that you decided to live with the rest of your life, you can't be like that the whole time.
You can't be passive.
Ukikasirika kila saa, passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Umekasirika to 24/7.
Yeah.
But when you mentioned convenient time, what is convenient for me might not be convenient for you. How do we then find a balance to have that conversation?
And that's what I was saying. When people sulk, they usually want to go into pettiness.
Yes.
It's not a matter of principle. Because if it's a matter of principle, then it means that in the past you have set down some, some ground rules. If there is an issue to discuss, it's not in the bedroom.
Okay.
The bedroom is a place for intimacy. It's not a place for fighting. We always fight in the living room or outside.
Okay.
Yeah. So for me, that's our scenario at home. Bedroom ni intimacy. Na maombi.
Tuna fight kwa dunia.
Yes.
Okay.
So you set those ground rules. Probably it's after dinner, or right after he's come from work, he's taken a shower, you've served him food. Now you can sit down and tell him, my guy, this is the thing. This is what I need us to talk about.
Okay.
Or you're outside taking a walk, or you could tell them, you could cue, can we take a walk? There's something I need to talk about. And then you go out. Men don't like that statement.
They don't. Well, that's how they get into
They
defensive.
become very, very guarded.
Yes.
But so you control that conversation and focus on principled things.
Okay.
Don't be very petty.
Okay.
So the other thing that I would like to mention is that we need to extend grace to the other person, because love believes all things. That means that if this is the person you love and this is the person you want to end up with, then you need to start believing good things about them. I usually say that other than what you believe or you think about God, the other most important thing, especially for people in relationship, is what you think about your spouse.
Okay.
Because we get into messes from what we first think about God. If you think that God is this angry person who is just watching over you to cane you when you make a mistake, you'll always be running away from him.
Yes.
But if you think he's a loving father who is always inviting you to reason out together so that he can blot out your sins, then you see that's a different scenario. You'll always be running back to him, even when you've made a mistake. So it also boils down to your spouse. It comes down to your spouse, because if you look at them that probably they were malicious, if you think they were malicious, then it will be very hard for you to come into a place where you are agreeing and seeing eye to eye. But if you think, probably they meant well, it's only that they didn't know how to do this thing better, then it will place you in a position where you want to understand them better.
That's true.
So this says that you need to come out of focusing on negativities. You can't focus on negativities all the time.
Yes.
Because remember, when you're pointing the finger to the other person, there are 5 pointing back to you.
Yes.
So you also have their flaws, and who knows, probably they've been extending so much grace to you that if they started counting every little thing that would have offended them, then you'd look so bad.
That is so true.
Yeah, you'd look so bad.
That is
So
so true.
at times you need to extend grace, because at the end of the day, you need to preserve the relationship. That doesn't look like, it doesn't look like overlooking everything, that, oh, let's just put this aside, let's focus on the lovey-dovey. No, it means that you are addressing everything objectively to preserve this relationship, because you want to end up together. You want to love one another for the longest time possible.
I hope you guys are taking notes.
Yeah.
But if they continuously repeat the same thing, Benjamin,
What if they continue
repeating the same mistake? So you're extending your grace, it's going, and then it's a repeat kind of habit or mistake or tendency.
Yeah, I like what God does with us.
Okay, wow. There we go. Mikali.
Yes. I like what God does with us, because I've also been in, in circles where it's the same thing. I'm always saying, and I'm running back to God and I'm telling him, God, just allow me this one time, especially it's because it's Sunday, I need to go out and preach, and God, just move, and then I won't repeat. But you see, he forgives you and he extends grace. It doesn't mean he excuses that.
Okay.
What it means is that he wants you to open up to let him have input, because that's what grace does. It does not only forgive, it also empowers you to overcome. So this in relationship looks like you being present and asking them, like, why is this a struggle for you? Like, why is anger a struggle for you? Is it the way you were raised? Is this how you've been brought up? And then you see what you can do for them. If it's praying, I've seen prayer change people. If it's making things easier, like last time we were saying, if the issue is he never pays the bills on time, but the money is there, he's just forgetting, why don't you step in and do it, so that it's no longer a source of conflict.
That's true.
You see, so you're stepping in to actively help, because relationships, in as much as you're saying, oh, you're not out there to change the other person, you need to have a level of resource that you're bringing in to be able to help this person become a better version of themselves.
Great.
Yeah. So grace is both ways. It's forgiving, but also empowering.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for answering my question.
Welcome.
Zenyu zimejibiwa pia. And we have some more coming through. Are we done with the? I can just ask a question here before tuendelee.
Yeah.
Hi Mukali, I'm Fatma from Kabete. Kindly ask for me if my husband is a good man, but there is a habit that makes me mad, and I have tried all the tactics that the guest is talking about. Mina kufeel, but he ends up doing it again. What should I do? I am turned off by this behavior. I feel like walking out of the marriage.
Oh my God, that's.
I think
deep.
we were in the same WhatsApp, me and you. It also sort of like ties in with what I just.
Yeah, but I would like to ask: is it a principle thing? Is it a principle thing that it's a value thing for the marriage, or is it something that is of a preference?
Okay.
Because for me, I would prefer you not singing in the morning, because that's when my system is trying to boot. Coming from the dream realm, I just want a quiet morning. That's a preference thing. It's not a value thing. It's not like if she stops singing or if he stops singing in the morning, now that marriage is over. You see, so look at it whether it's a value thing or it's just a preference. If it's a preference, work on yourself. Try to move away from it, or have a different perspective on it. If it's a value thing, then you need to both work on it. Probably get the input of a third party.
Okay.
Yeah. And at times, conflict, we should mention this, Mikali, that conflict resolution, it could get so bad that you need intervention from another party.
That's true.
There are some things that, could go really bad that you'd want a marriage counselor or a psychologist or a person of authority to come in, but they really have to be objective, and they are people that don't take sides with either of you, so that things can be solved amicably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Fatma from Kabete. I hope that was helpful. Hi, Mukali. I'm actually recording the interview with Benjamin, and I'm asking, what if you have talked to your bae about a certain elephant that is the source of conflict several times? I think there's a big problem here. Several times, Nahaja show interest in changing, and this is connected to my Christian belief. Do I just break up? Not that I don't love him, but I think it will be healthy for me. Please read this and advise.
She said you talk to or with. She talked to the spouse.
So yes, they're saying we have talked to our bae.
There is a problem.
Oh.
They have talked to him. They have not talked with.
Okay.
So in conflict resolution, we are talking together. We are talking with. I'm talking with you.
I'm not talking
to you.
To you.
I'm not always there nagging and accusing, because that's usually the case.
Okay.
When we talk about conflict resolution. It's me bringing my tantrums, and then you need to respond.
Yeah.
And your response should look favorable to me.
Exactly
always.
what I want to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not like, why do you do this? Why do you keep doing this? Is this something that you were brought, like I was saying, you were brought up like this? It's a habit you learned. What do I need to do to help? So probably
she says it's connected to her Christian beliefs.
Yes, it's a value thing.
Yeah,
so you need to work on it.
Okay.
You need to work on it. If it's not cheating, because the premise for dissolving a marriage would be cheating or violence.
Yes.
That's when we tell people, walk out. Or if it's negligence, where bills aren't being paid, like ile ni chronic, you guys are wallowing in lack, nyumba inafungwa, watoto wako njaa, that one you can walk away. But if it's not, then you need to sit there and work on it, because there is no time that I've found a problem that is too big for God to solve. Yeah.
I think we should also remember that. Good morning, Mikali and Benjamin. What do you do when an issue emerges? I'm the type to talk it out at the moment and face it head on, but my guy is the silent treatment kind. Then he blows up after you do something later on. How do you deal with this mess? Me, I know this one. You know how?
Yeah.
I have an issue. Then I'll come to you saying, I don't like how you did this and this and this.
Ilenga, yeah.
And then now, that's when they tell you, now even you, the way you did ile 25 years ago, haikuwa inifurahishanga.
Yeah.
So there's that back and forth, sort of like reverse psychology to deal
it's
with.
manipulation. Most
Very
narcissists do that. And I think now this brings in the aspect of how are you saying it, where are you saying it? Because again, you need to catch them in their friendliest, when their guard is not up, when they are the most friendly, and then you introduce it. Again, something I've seen my wife do on me is humor.
Okay.
Humor. She uses a lot of humor to bring out some things.
Okay.
So at times she'll be like, "Oh, hey, pastor, pastor mzima unaweza," and I'm like, "Oh my goodness."
So it's humorous, but they're still calling you out.
They are calling me out. So it's like, "Hey, hata washirika wakijua unafanya." You see, so it's humor, and it will soften their heart, and then it will create a platform for the both of you to resolve. All
the best. Yeah, nakufil. Hi, Mikali. I love today's topic. For me, my husband never helps in-house chores, and we've talked about it many times, and no change. What should I do?
Hey, this is a huge problem, because first of all, here there is a mental load. The mental load is on the person who is always thinking about what needs to be done. Okay?
Yes.
So she needs to come from that mental load of thinking that this needs to be done, and then look at the situation. Because I believe in gender roles.
Okay.
I believe in gender roles. I believe there are some things for the women and there are some things for the men. Even from nature, we can see that.
Okay.
My wife is the one who has breasts, so she doesn't expect me to breastfeed.
Yes.
So because there are gender roles, you should set it up. I do help in cooking at times, but she does not it's like I'm doing it to surprise her.
Oh, yeah. You don't take the lead on that.
I don't take the lead on that. The kitchen is her domain, but I can come in to help. So if food needs to be made, she knows she's the one until I offer. If she asks, can you help with this, and I refuse, because I refuse, then that's okay. She just has to take care of that. So you need to look at your home and look at the dynamics around that. And I know the contemporary culture brings in the aspect of stay-at-home dads. Again, if that's the context of the two of you, make it clear.
Yeah.
And that's why we are talking about principle and value. What works for your home uniquely?
That's true.
What works for your home? Because we don't want to generalize everything. Maybe the arrangement is that the guy stays home, or he's always at home, so he has to take care of those things, you know. So you need to talk about it, tell him what you expect, or tell him what he really needs to do. Don't just think about it, oh, he should have carried that, he should have taken that trash out,
kitchen.
but he doesn't know.
Then
You
it's there the whole night.
Yeah,
you wake up in the morning, you've woken up earlier than him, it's still there.
Now again, you could help by notes,
Yes.
sticky notes, kwa doors, you know, take out the trash, call the cable guy, call the electrician, you know, fix this and that.
Okay.
Yeah, don't keep nagging, but just remind in a good way.
Okay.
Yeah.
And speak out. They wouldn't know that you need them to help with the dishes.
Yeah.
That they would need you to take out the trash. Just ask them directly what it is that you would like for them to help you with.
Yes.
Hello, Mwikali. I'm Gemma from Kiambu. Well, my babe is exactly what he's saying. My boyfriend is quick to anger, and he always sees his perfections and sees the bad side of me. Please help.
That quick to anger thing. Yeah. So, and I get it. A lot of men are angry for a number of reasons. And I feel like mentioning one of the reasons people are angry, especially men, is when their ego has been tampered with.
Okay.
You know, if you keep talking down to him, he'll have to stand up to defend himself against you. Because in a king, in a man, there are three. There's a beast, there's a boy, and there's a king.
Okay.
Okay? So you want to bring out the king more, and then you want the boy to have his place so that he can be playful. The beast needs to be there in a healthy way. But if you speak to the beast more, he will rise to defend himself against you. The same way he will defend people, he'll defend you against people.
Yes.
It's the same way if his ego is, you know, scratched, he will defend himself against you. So that could be a source of anger. You need probably to check. Now, again, I don't know the context of this. You need to check, how do you talk to him? Do you affirm him? Do you, you know, praise him? They say that a good woman is a godly woman is worthy of praise. Even a man desires praise.
Okay.
Because it goes into their ego in a healthy way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she says like this guy doesn't see the good side in her. Like
The good side in her.
yeah, like she's I'm just
But-
over here fighting for the girl child.
Yeah, I know. But you see, he does. That's
Oh,
why
but
he's with her.
Okay. Yes,
Why is
that's
he with
true.
her?
Okay.
There's something that
Okay.
he saw that he's forgetting. So they need to come back to remember those things.
Okay.
Remember first love. Come back to first love. So the guy, if he's watching this, Ebu, go back to why you love this chick.
Yes.
And then amplify those things. If it was the nose, go back to complimenting that nose. Yeah.
Hello, Mwikali. I'm Charlene. Kindly say hi to Benjamin.
Hi.
And kindly ask him, my man and I are perfectly good, but when he annoys me and I get angry, he comes like, babe, nilikuwa na joke. Kwani ujuangi humor. He doesn't like talking about it. Anapenda kuifanya ikae ni kama ilikuwa jokes, but it's nothing to do with cheating. Ni hizi issues kidogo kidogo. He's this guy who jokes a lot. What should I do with my joker?
You have a joker.
So
Okay.
I think she feels like there's some... I'm raising an issue here
Yeah,
because
but
of
you're
something
not
that you
seeing
have
it.
done. And then
Yeah.
you just turn around and then you say, "Nilikuwa na joke, you humor."
Okay, play that card on him as well.
Ah.
Yeah, get some sense of humor. Alafu mwambie, hey, no, kongana hizi jokes, lakini on this one, we need to talk about it. You see,
Okay.
so play around with that. He's humorous. It's a good thing. You could use that to be what helps you to resolve the conflict.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I think jokes are better like that.
Yeah,
that
they're better.
silent treatment where
Yeah.
someone is just hitting you.
Yeah.
And I like the way she's just ended the joke. What should I do with my joker? Our time is up, Benjamin. How can people get directly in touch with you to answer more questions that are still streaming in?
Yeah, sure. You can get in touch with me, Marge on Facebook, then Marge the Njatas on YouTube.
Okay.
That would be good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Asante sana kwa kuja.
Thank
Hope
you.
to see you again soon.
Very, very, very looking forward to.
Okay.
Yeah.
We are going to take a very short commercial break. This is Full Circle with Mwikali. Don't go too far.